In New Orleans, a group of underground black market dealers have gathered to meet the drug lord, Biggie, who introduces a new drug called Ozempic, also known as Power, a drug that gives superhuman abilities. He wants them to sell it on the market. One of the dealers is named Newt, looking like an inbred meth head. 6 weeks later, a young girl named Robin is playing with her stock of Power in an abandoned theme park. So this what Dominique been up to after stalking Nija. She hears 2 young men walking nearby. When she approaches the twinks and tells them that Ozempic is sold for $500, a third guy jumps her. As they try to rob her, a cop, Frank, arrives on a motorbike. He orders the 4 of them to put their hands in the air. One of the guys drops the Power case on the ground and grabs half of a pill. Just as he's about to take it, Officer Frank warns him that the drug may give him a terrible superpower that could lead to his death. So this makes the guy chicken shit to take it. Frank yanks it from his hand and handcuffs Robin, but lets the others go. He releases Robin, and Robin makes fun of Frank's Clint Eastwood ways. Frank wonders what movie of Eastwood she watched. Robin says Trump rally. He buys the pill from her. When she asks why, he explains that he needs it to level the playing field when fighting against criminals who take the drugs. After paying, he gives Robin the motorbike as a post-birthday present, and they drive across the city. Robin arrives home on the motorbike. She secures her stock and stashes the cash. Later, Major is driving a truck on the highway. News reports of people exhibiting random superpowers play on the radio. He's looking for a dealer named Newt. He arrives in the ghetto, looking fine as hell with them sunglasses, then knocks on a door with a lizard drawing. Newt opens the door slightly and Major tells him to call Simon, who will vouch for him so they can do business. While Newt leaves to make the call, Major removes the deadbolt, enters the apartment, and starts checking around. There's even an alligator in the house, and y'all, I would have turned my ass around. Major sneaks up behind him with a shotgun. Major demands information, anything that will lead him to who's supplying the super drugs. Newt tries to grab his gun from the table, but Major starts shooting. Newt runs to hide in one of the rooms and takes one of the drugs. He bursts into flames and charges at Major. Major shoots him, and they engage in combat. Newt chases Major through the halls, and they end up in a big back woman's apartment who hits Major with her bacon pan, then douses Newt with water. Major hides in the bathroom, and when Newt charges in, Major grabs him with a wet jacket and dunks his head in the tub. Major tortures him, trying to get a name. Newt gives up the name Biggie. As Newt starts to OD, his entire body blows up. In the explosion, Major is reminded of a situation where his car flipped and his child was taken from him. Major barely manages to survive the explosion and was able to keep Newt's phone. The next day, Robin's mom wakes her up. As Robin prepares for school, her mom watches the news, which shows footage of the fire. Her mom tells her to check on Newt. "Oh, Mom of the Year knows about her daughter selling drugs. I would have slapped my daughter so hard she ends up back in my womb." Robin leaves on her motorbike. Meanwhile, Major is at a gas station, treating his burns and changing clothes. His phone rings with Robin's text, asking if Newt is okay. Major responds, and they agree to meet up at Church's Chicken. "That's the only type of church I go to." Robin is caught texting in class by her teacher and says she finna get a D. "Oh, that's not..." He asks her about her future plans and presses her for an answer. Her big back friend chimes in, saying she'll rap. Robin imagines herself rapping, dissing her teacher, and the class erupting in cheer. But as she snaps out of her daydream, the teacher sends her to the office. So this isn't a unique experience? Meanwhile, a police distress signal calls for backup regarding a robbery downtown. Foreign-ass Frank arrives with his foreign-ass partner to find an armed robber with multiple hostages. Local police are asked to stand down as the feds take over. Frank takes the initiative, sneaks in through a back door, and takes a Ozempic pill. He checks the area but sees nothing. However, the robber, using camouflage as his superpower, is right behind him. Frank heads toward the bound hostages. The robber sneaks up behind Frank and hits him with a money bag before running. They engage in a chase through the city, and the robber manages to steal a bike. Frank chases him, but the robber is rammed by a car. The robber runs to catch a streetcar trolley and hops in. He opens the bag, and a smoke bomb explodes, spreading inside the trolley. Frank grabs the stolen bike and chases them. The robber runs into a diner, and Frank tackles him through a glass window. They land in an alley, and the robber grabs Frank's gun, shooting him in the temple. The bullet doesn't penetrate Frank's skin, but he falls to the ground. The robber continues shooting at the police around them. Frank regains his footing, takes the impact of the bullet, and beats the robber senseless. The other officers witness this superhuman feat and are stunned. Frank is treated by a paramedic when the captain walks in. He asks Frank if he took a power pill, and Frank admits he did. The chief demands Frank's gun and badge. They argue, but the chief offers Frank a deal. Capture Major, and Frank will get a pass from jail. Meanwhile, at Church's Chicken, Major waits for any sign of Robin. He sits and waits until nightfall when Robin arrives. She looks around for Newt, sends him a text, and checks the restroom. When she returns, her front tire has been slashed. She pushes the motorbike while walking and passes Major's truck. He grabs her and locks her in the back. He drives off to a dark, isolated area and interrogates her. Robin refuses to disclose any information, seeming clueless about the situation. Major gives her a deal. Coordinate with him on a mission to find out who the source is, and he will not harm her nor her mom. Robin makes a call to a number Newt gave her in case she got into trouble. The operator tells her to head to Hong Kong Market and ask for alligator wine. At Hong Kong Market, Major briefs Robin on what to do. They head inside, and Robin asks for alligator wine in the frozen section, while Major watches from a distance. She's led to a back storage room and into an office where the operator speaks with her. She reveals information about Major. The operator takes Ozempic, goes to face Major, and tells Robin to stay inside. Major grabs the operator and points scissors at his neck. They fight, and the operator yells at a truck driver to flee. The office is actually in a cargo unit on the back of the truck. Major chases the truck, gunfire erupting in the background. The truck stops, and Major checks on Robin but gets shot. He barges through the door and walks toward Robin. He's hit but begins hallucinating his daughter through Robin. He shoots a locked door, finding a surveillance control room with information on the dealers and their locations. While Major is distracted by the monitors, Robin flees and Major collapses. The operator regenerates outside and gets back up. Robin struggles with the locked gate but runs back into the market. The operator follows and hits her with a pan. Just as he's about to stab her, Major tackles him and stabs him instead. Robin runs to the door, and Major shouts for her help. She hesitates, saying he killed her cousin. But Major explains that Newt OD'd, and he's only doing this to find his daughter. Robin listens and helps him. She treats his bullet wounds and stitches him up at her mom's vet clinic. Damn, Mama's a vet and they broke AF selling drugs? Frank checks on Robin's house and finds another vehicle parked outside. A man is questioning Irene about Robin's whereabouts, threatening her. Frank sneaks in through a bathroom window, pretending to have just gotten out of the shower. Oh, hello there. He handles the men pretending to be the police, then tells Irene that Robin sent him. The police don't believe Frank actually lives there, and Frank rebuts, saying they're racist because a black woman is with a white man. They record the men asking for their warrant/badge on video. The men leave, and Frank attaches a tracker to their car. After treating his wounds, Robin and Major bond over rap and talk. She says they poor and her mama got diabetes and lacks health insurance. Robin strikes a deal with Major, $5,000 to accompany him on his mission. They discuss Major's search for his daughter. Major explains that a company called Telios, the defense contractor he used to work for, genetically experimented with humans, including him. When Tracy was born, she inherited the powers without taking the pill. Telios wanted to experiment on her, so Major and Tracy fled. During this conversation, Major's PTSD is triggered, and he has flashbacks of Tracy's abduction. They hit a roadblock, and Major snaps out of it. They arrive at the location of one of the dealers shown on the security monitor. They follow the dealer into a private party. The bouncer tries to block him from entering, but Major knocks him the foo out. Inside, Biggie is demonstrating the power pill. A woman takes it, gaining thermoregulation powers and freezing the glass. Major confronts Biggie, pointing his gun at him. A standoff ensues. A man takes a pill, but it makes him explode, and chaos breaks out as everyone starts shooting. The girl in the tank panics and ends up panicking so hard, she becomes frozen solid. Major fights to maintain control. He shoots Biggie's masturbating fingers, demanding answers. Biggie reveals that Project Power is on a boat called Genesis. Frank arrives outside and confronts Robin about Major. Robin tries to convince him Major's a good guy, but Frank doesn't believe her. He storms into the party and points a gun at Major's back. As the confrontation drags on, Biggie secretly takes a pill and transforms into a giant monster. Oh, that's why he nicknamed Biggie. He charges at them both. Major uses the gas tank, shoots them, causing an explosion that kills Biggie. Major, Frank, and Robin escape. The cops arrive and arrest Major. Robin tries to defend him, but Frank refuses to listen. While driving to the precinct, Major tries to convince Frank that the authorities are following orders from the same people running Project 2025. Project Power. Major says they're using his daughter to create the superpower pills and experimenting on innocent people. Frank becomes convinced and helps Major. Their car is intercepted at a railway crossing, but Frank has already fled. The men take Major to the shipyard where Genesis is located. Robin and Frank arrive as well. Robin stays behind to keep watch, while Frank takes a pill and tries to get past security. He's shot but recovers, knocking out a guard. Major is taken to Dr. Gardner, who discusses Tracy's lab results and the next step toward human evolution, unlocking permanent power. Major curses her out, so she has him tased and sent for genetic extraction. Frank and Robin sneak into the main security control room. They discover where Major's being taken and devise a plan. Frank goes after Major, while Robin stays in the security room as lookout. Alarms go off. Dr. Gardner sends one of her men after Robin, and he takes a pill to enhance his strength. He breaks through the doors. Meanwhile, another henchman got them stretchy limbs like Dalsum. Frank fights his stretchy limbs, but I'm only interested in his private limb. Frank manages to get the henchman's fisting arm stuck on a door. Meanwhile, the big back henchman breaks into the security room. Robin escapes through a hatch, and Dr. Gardner orders the henchman to find her. Frank takes another pill. The boat undocks from the port. Robin makes her way to the laboratory level. Major is left with one henchman on guard. He manages to persuade the henchman to uncuff him because Major has a pill in his mouth. The big henchman enters the room and they fight. Frank walks in with a shotgun, but gets disarmed. Frank tosses the shotgun to Major and he shoots the wide-back guy down. Robin, followed by a henchman, hides and knocks him out with a surgery lamp. She takes his security access card and heads to Tracy's lab. She tells Tracy, Major is here to rescue her. Dr. Gardner walks in, but they hide under a trap door. She sets off an alarm and orders a full sweep of the ship. Frank and Major meet Tracy and Robin at the bow of the boat. They reunite and hug, then try to escape. Henchmen engage in combat, but Robin uses a crane to knock out a henchman, and Major finishes him off. Frank and Tracy hide inside a cabin, but Frank is hit. Major finds Robin but is too late as she's captured by Dr. Gardner and taken hostage. Major confronts Dr. Gardner and her henchmen. He demands their safe release, but she refuses. Major takes a power pill, enhancing his abilities to an overwhelming degree. He pulverizes the bullets in anyone in his path. Dr. Gardner and her henchmen are killed. Major collapses, and Tracy heals him with her power. The four of them survive and escape on a lifeboat. The next day, they're at a car yard fixing Major's truck. They say their goodbyes. Major and Tracy drive off, and Tracy throws away her lab wristband, symbolizing her freedom and the end to the mass production of Ozempic. Robin returns home to her mom with a can of soup and a bag full of cash. This was a fun action-packed movie that you have to see to fully enjoy. What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.